Venus, goddess of beauty, and he made the laver of brass, and the foot of it brass, of the looking glasses of the women assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Exodus 38:8. Venus is the most luminous object in the heavens, and it is appropriately named for the goddess of beauty. It appears as the morning and evening star. A dense layer of clouds continuously envelops the planet. This planet shows phases somewhat like the moon. Planet Venus symbolizes the brazen laver of water in the court round about of the tabernacle. The continuous cloud covering, and clouds carry water, depict this. The phases or changes of Venus relate to the water in the laver, which had to be changed often due to the many washings that were done. Leviticus 16th chapter. Thou shalt also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal, and thou shalt put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, and thou shalt put water therein. Exodus 30:18. Mythology, the Roman name of the goddess of love, called by the Greeks Aphrodite. In the Iliad, she is described as the daughter of Zeus and Dione, but Hesiod represents her as the offspring of Uranus. Born among the foam of the sea, the chief places of her worship in Greece were the islands of Cyprus and Cythera. In Rome, several temples were erected to her under different names.
The earth as a planet. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth became without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis 1 verses 1 through 3. Elohim was drawn out of Yahweh, who is Spirit, John 4:24, which is the source, substance, the limits, and bounds. For in him we live, move, and have our being. Acts 17 verse 28. The earth then is drawn out of Elohim. Likewise, Eve and all mankind was drawn out of Adam the first man. The earth represents the woman, Mother Earth, the womb. In the beginning of creation, the earth was surrounded by water, and the Spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. Genesis 1 verses 1 to 2. The Spirit was impregnating or quickening the creatures within Mother Earth. Creatures and food come forth from her, just as it takes the male sperm, seed, to quicken the egg, that is within the woman, that creatures might come forth from her. There is but one system in the body that reproduces life. Likewise, there can be but one planet in the solar system, the Earth, that reproduces or sustains life. There is but one Creator, and all things are made in his likeness and image.
Mars, the red planet. According to the diagram of the tabernacle showing the planets being situated in place of the vessels, planet Mars is likened unto the brazen altar of sacrifice. Mars is conspicuous for the redness of its light. It is fourth in order from the Sun, and its surface bears some resemblance to that of Earth. The surface of Mars is crisscrossed by a network of lines or canals, giving it a geometrical network or grating. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar. It shall never go out. Leviticus 6 and 13. The surface, having a distinct reddish color, depicts the ever-presence of fire on the altar. And he made for the altar a brazen grate of network, under the compass thereof, beneath, unto the midst of it. Exodus 38, verse 4. Mars Hill, Acts 17th chapter. Called Hill of Ares, a barren hill of the famous Acropolis in Athens. It was dedicated to Ares, the god of war. The elevated place became the seat of the Greek council. Because of sudden interest in his message, Paul was taken there to clarify his mysterious teachings. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him, when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. Acts 17 and 16. If there be found among you, within any of thy gates which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Elohim, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing, unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. Deuteronomy 17 verse 2 through 5. Definite seasonal changes in Martian features have been observed. The most conspicuous are the variations in size of the polar caps. As winter progresses in the southern hemisphere of Mars, the polar cap increases until nearly half of the hemisphere is covered. In the spring, the polar cap diminishes, and it frequently disappears altogether with the coming of summer. The sequence in the northern hemisphere is similar, except that the polar cap does not vanish completely during the summer and does not extend as far toward the equator during the winter. These differences result from the extremes in intensity of solar radiation received by the southern hemisphere. The orbital eccentricity causes hotter summers and colder winters in the southern hemisphere as compared with the northern hemisphere. Intensifications of contrast and color changes in the dark areas also vary seasonally. These dark markings, the Maria, are more prominent in whichever hemisphere the polar cap is receding. During the spring and summer, many dark areas appear to have a strong blue-green color, which fades with autumn and becomes brownish with the onset of winter. It is these seasonal variations that gave rise to the theory that the Maria are areas of vegetation. Considerable haze and variable cloud formations, some of which move rapidly over the surface of the planet, are observed from time to time. The haze becomes evident when we compare photographs of Mars taken in red light. The need for purification from sin, or the desire of the worshipper to enter into fellowship with Yahweh Elohim, is shown by the various kinds of offerings that were placed upon the sacrificial altar. The burnt offering, the meal or meat offering, the peace offering, the sin offering, the trespass offering, the drink offering. These offerings had the use of bullocks, rams, turtle doves, flour, oil, frankincense, salt, and birds. As you can see, these sacrifices were derived from both animal and vegetable kingdoms. This is why the planet Mars, representing the altar of sacrifice, showing seasonal changes from blue, green, brown, red, etc., presents the theory of life on the planet. However, all animals that were placed upon the altar were dead sacrifices. This is proof that no life exists on the planet, and they shall take away the ashes from the altar and spread a purple cloth thereon. Numbers 4 and 13. How beautiful this is represented by the violet clouds mentioned in the paragraph below. 6 photographs of Mars taken in colors ranging from ultraviolet through violet, green, yellow, red, and infrared. The surface markings appear most clearly in the longer waves. Visible are the violet clouds near the terminator, and also near the south solar cap at the top. Yahshua, the Messiah, who was sacrificed for the sins of the world, Mark 15 and 17 states, when he is about to be crucified and placed upon the altar, and they clothed him with purple, or violet, and plaited a crown of thorns, and put it about his head. Planet Mars truly depicts the brazen altar of sacrifice. Mars, the Roman god of war, at an early period identified with the Greek Ares, a deity of similar attributes. Like Jupiter, he was designated father, and was regarded in particular as the father of the Roman people. Ares, the Greek god of war, was the son of Zeus, Jupiter, and Hera, Juno. He is represented as terrible in battle. The chief seats of the worship of Ares were in Thrace and Scythia.